That move by the White House coming shortly after the release of a new report detailing FBI agents' firsthand accounts of how the government shutdown impacts FBI operations. The FBI Agents Association says, quote, "The lack of funding caused by the government shutdown is undermining criminal, counterterrorism, and counterintelligence operations, delaying and complicating child trafficking and exploitation investigations, harming cooperation with local law enforcement, reducing informant cooperation, and hindering a wide range of other efforts." The association adds, the report shows agents' basic operations needs are being compromised as a result of prohibitions against buying prepaid phone cars, booking air travel, and even using official FBI vehicles because there's no funding for gas. The shutdown is not only affecting agents' work, but the report, quote, provides examples of the personal hardships suffered by agents' families as agents continue to work without pay. The FBI's mission is, quote, to protect the American people and uphold the Constitution of the United States. Agents do this by tackling these Herculean priorities, protecting the U.S. from terror attacks, foreign intelligence operations, and espionage, cyber attacks, and public corruption. Joining me now is Tom O'Connor, president of the FBI Agents Association. Tom, you guys really didn't spare any words with this. What do agents, in a nutshell, want the American people to know about how this shutdown and obviously the lack of funding is affecting our national security?
Thanks for having me this afternoon. FBI agents and the membership of the FBI Agents Association wants the public and our elected officials to know that we want the FBI to be fully funded so that our operations will continue at the pace that they were before this shutdown. And we want to have FBI employees, FBI agents, and professional support employees compensated for their work. We can't do the job to our fullest extent if the government is not funding the FBI and our operations, and the stress it puts on families is not helpful in any way for operations and families of FBI employees going forward.
Let's talk about some real-world examples here. Just last week, the FBI, for example, arrested a man who they say was plotting to use an anti-tank rocket to storm the White House. And agents had been on this investigation since March. If you're doing that kind of investigation, if you're doing any kind of investigation and you don't have the money, if you don't have a prepaid phone car, if you can't use federal money to put gas in your car, what does that mean?
Well, the FBI is an investigative body, obviously, and investigations take funds to fulfill all of the necessary tools in that investigation. The FBI headquarters has done a very difficult task of determining what amount of money is going to be used on what investigations. And it's very difficult because they have one pot of money and nothing's coming into it. But every day our investigations cost money to operate. So as we move forward, and we said this on January 10th, as we move forward, those investigations, they're going to have to make some difficult decisions on what is funded and what can't be funded. And now here we are on the 22nd of January, and we're saying that that has only gotten worse and will continue to get worse going forward. We want the FBI to be fully funded so we can do our operations to our fullest possible extent. The FBI agents become FBI agents, and employees of the FBI join the FBI to protect the American people from enemies, both foreign and domestic, and that equates to our investigations, thousands of investigations that FBI agents are doing across the United States on a daily basis. And it's getting harder and harder to do those investigations because the money is not being replenished.
I want to talk to you, if I can, about morale. This is already a president who has repeatedly showed his disdain for many of the institutions that we have all come to depend on, including the FBI. And I'm not suggesting that any FBI agent would do anything to undermine our national security, but can everyone who is a part of the FBI do his or her job after their agency has been under attack and now they aren't getting paid? I mean, just as human beings, what's it like now to be a part of the FBI?
The FBI and the FBI Agents Association, we're not involved in the politics of anything to do with this shutdown. We want our elected officials to come together and fund the FBI so that we can do our operations, and our employees, FBI agents, our members, can get compensated for the 50 hours plus a week that they're working. You mentioned investigations that are ongoing. FBI agents were working investigations before the shutdown. We have been working these investigations during the shutdown, and we will continue to do that to the best of our ability. As the funds get less and less, it is going to be harder and harder for us to work these investigations to the fullest extent. We want to fund the FBI so we can do our jobs and, to the best of our ability, protect the American people. And we will do that, funded or not, but we need to be funded.
And there is the personal cost that you mentioned, and we've certainly had a lot of stories about what's been going on around the country as churches and other organizations have been setting up food banks for federal workers. And I know that you had a pretty emotional story about you and your wife delivering food to your own office for those in need. Could you share that with us?
My wife is also an FBI agent, and she's a member of a neighborhood book club, and she put out an email asking for people to come help our employees. And we drove yesterday a car full, the whole back filled with bags of food given by good people who see that people in need to be taken care of. We delivered that food to a room which is full of food brought by others to help our employees. And people are taking that food, and they should be taking that food. Our support employees, our newer agents, these people need to be helped. And one way to help them is to fund the government, open the FBI fully, and pay the employees of the FBI for the work that we are doing every day.
I'm guessing you never thought you'd see the day when you had to have a room for folks who need food, who are working for the FBI. Tom O'Connor, we thank you and all the members of the FBI for continuing to do such good work and important work at a time when you aren't being paid. Much appreciated. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you. And we will continue to do that job.
Much appreciated.
Hey, MSNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there and click on any of the videos here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up now.